All right, so profits jumped 30%. Big driver of that was your toll road business here in the U.S. and a lot of big cities. What's going on? What's driving this profit increase? Are we just simply driving more places?
We have a very good, solid results in the first half of the year. Most of it driven by our highways business, no? And in North America, 80% of the value of the company is in North America. And what is reflected is the growth in the cities which we are located, like Dallas or Charlotte or Toronto in the case of Canada. And the EBITDA growth of our tollways in the US has been 14% in the first half of the year, so very good results. But also the areas of the company are performing well. As you commented previously, NTO, a 72% physical progress on track to open next year. And also the constructions business is doing well with a 3.5% EBIT margin. That is the long-term average that we have in the company.
All right, so we had some big legislation here in the United States. The president passed a spending and tax bill that's supposed to boost CapEx spending by a lot of companies. How do you play a part in this, whether it's data centers or other greenfield construction? Are you starting to already see any signs of a tailwind from that?
What we see is very positive developments, no? Some of the actions of this administration. One of them is increasing the TIFIA funding. Eligible CapEx is moving from 33% to 49%. So it's very positive for some large infrastructure projects that we have in the US. Also, I think that what we see positive is streamlining some of the environmental regulation and the permits that we need to obtain for large projects. It will reduce timing and will reduce cost. The big thing that we have is the bipartisan infrastructure bill that is ending next year, and we need a new surface transportation authorization bill next year. And hopefully what we see is more private partners participating in large infrastructure projects that are very well needed.
All right. We mentioned that you're a player over at JFK working on the new terminal over there. When it comes to international travel and also a lot of big international events, things like the Olympics coming to the United States, is that another tailwind for your business, the idea that there needs to be an infrastructure build out for a lot of these big events? And also, we're just seeing people, especially wealthier people, travel more internationally.
Yes, what has happened historically is that air traffic is growing above GDP. And we expect that also to happen in the future. And some locations like New York, where we are building the new Terminal 1, what we see is that it's a location in which we'll see more international travelers. That's why we decided to invest more than $1 billion. And we are now building a new terminal that is going to be a world-class terminal that will be open next year. And many customers flying to and from New York will benefit from it. But we are looking to similar opportunities in the US. So we see that there is a need for CapEx expansion in some airports, and they can work together with private partners like us in order to accelerate that expansion.
You know, speaking of the U.S., I want to talk to you about the dollar. How does the dollar's decline year to date impact your business? And recently, we've seen a bit of a reacceleration in the dollar, at least this month. How does that impact your business? And are you starting to see signs or any changes of the so-called Sell America sentiment that we've seen kind of globally in the last couple months?
Well, of course, I mean, as giving a European company, we are a Dutch corporation that is giving dividends in euros. Of course, the exchange rate is affecting us in terms of the dividends that we give in euros to our investors. But most, as you commented previously, 80% of the value of the company is in North America. Our assets, main assets are there. Main investments are in the US. So we are naturally mitigated, no, with the investments that we have and the dividends that are coming from our US assets that we have there. So we have in a very good equilibrium. And we are attracting US investors, no? At the end, we are NASDAQ listed, and we expect to get new investors in the US.